This evidently engages quicker than the phone. Now, you normally don't see it, but usually right before, the second before we start, I'm turning off the phone. But apparently this is going quicker, and now it's surprising. Now this is the same light we normally have, but the tablet is just not picking it up, so I can add a little extra artificial light and get my summer love. Let people come in here. Hello, Rick. Oh, I've had so much cat help this evening. Yes, I have. Now, Summer, love you, but I need to get my chat up. And it was only Rick because I recognized the little orange thingy. Hello, Let It Go, and somebody else that I think it might be Blake's. I can't quite tell from here, but I'm just going with what I remember the icons to look like. Can we get done with the chinny thing yet, honey? Yeah, because, I really was not going to go live, but Leticia annoyed me. She had a confrontation with children and took it seriously and then put it as content for kids and then made a video about it. And then she also said that she's going to get off and make a much longer vid about it. And I feel like poo-poo duty heading her. Yes, I do. And I'll get Chad up here and respond in just a minute, but I'm still like, really? Really? I was getting ready to have a bite, and then I was going to go on the deck and wash my face and clean myself a little bit up before bed. But I thought, well, she's annoyed me, and I won't feel better until I get this out of my system. And I was listening to a Drastia, and I wish to poo-poo her too, but, we can only crap on one thing at a time, so we're going with it. I finally remembered where the volume button is on this thing. Oh, hello, Leah. Hello, Callie. But we're going to play some audio and such for her. But I thought, one of my decisions was, well, if she's going to drop another one of her opuses, especially on this, why don't I go live and review it as soon as it comes up? So, I thought about that, and really, I probably should have waited about 10 or 15 more minutes, but, it is Friday night, and people like entertainment, and you guys have basically seen what I've been doing. I posted, it's interesting. Now, those that watch my wargaming channel or saw the video I posted on my community tab, that was right before the deer. And I had got done shooting that video and playing with Richella for another 20 minutes up there, and then I walked out, and that's when the deer was there, and it was just going to stand there and stare at me, and I went back in the barn for about 10 more minutes, and then came back to the house and uploaded the videos, and I did have a couple tacos, and burned my finger with steam a little bit, but I live. Well, yeah, my whole 20 acres, my backyard basically goes into the hayfield. And this year, I'm just leaving my yard as a part of the hayfield. It's going up to like $40 to $45 a roll for hay. So, they can get a bale or two, a roll bale, out of my yard. So, my yard will make me about $80. Yes, Let It Go. I've noticed about it. Oh, you mean the stink finger? Madam Stink Finger? I just gotta shake my head. And the thing is she thought, and that's what I should tell you people. I'll poop finger you. Oh yeah, you wanted me not to talk about that. Well, if you don't want me to talk about it, please don't mention something. It just, you mention it and then it stimulates it in my mind and my mind just rolls it over and, hello, Monica. Well, actually, she probably does. Well, yeah, Ronnie. When I got up today, her live was on. It had been on for about 20 minutes. And I'm like, I gotta wake up to this. Oh, man. I didn't put this at 18 plus, but I just thought of something I didn't think of, at the time. But it's funny as hell, and it should really be 18 plus, and it's true. But as I said, I woke up, I had like the phone, I checked it, what time it was, and flipped on, and of course YouTube, and there she was. I do have to say that I lost morning wood. Wake up with that have to pee real bad, and you're all at full staff, and I do have to say that ended. Leticia sitting there, yeah, I went, pope. But I just thought of that. Hello, Herd's bed turd. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, I did. I woke up with the whole morning and having to pee thing, and, it was doing its own thing, and I didn't get to pee, I was holding it, but it didn't take about 60 seconds of looking at her, and that morning wood was gone. Ain't seen it since. I can truly say I've not had an erection since I saw Leticia naked. Yes, I'm losing it. Well, let it go. I'm thinking, hello, WB. What sucks is I got so many targets on YouTube in so little time. I never did get to annihilating Tessie. I'll do that at some time or another. And Melton John, I've been putting off his Cthulhu vid forever because I keep having other things to do. And Coach keeps calling himself a content creator, but he keeps hiding his content. So, I'm going to have some commentary on, if you hide your content, are you really a content creator? It's like, Coach, what shames me? My content, I must hide it. So, I'm going to have a good time. Saying I got so many targets in so little time. Oh, but I have to laugh about it all. I really do. Now, I'm laughing about it all because we're not actually got to the Leticia audio. Now, when we get to the Leticia audio, you're going to notice that I'm going to be annoyed, I'm going to be jaded, I'm going to be overly sarcastic, and I'm going to have to stop like that now and then because I'm not at 18 plus. And that's me reminding myself that you better think of a rephrasing of that, sir. Oh, man. And Let It Go's here, so I'm going to pull out a chat for a minute, and we're going to see what the Leticioid is doing. I normally don't find content creators, even lolcows, triggering. Leticia is special, because once again, she put her vid to children's, and it says, let's rip their sacks out. Because Now, this is she wants to be mean. I mean, like I say, I have trouble with her. And that is one reason why I knew she was going to be extremely successful, as a lolcow, was because she is triggering. And that's one reason why that, I can tell a lolcow when I see it or something that would be interesting for content, because there's that element of I want to look away. And that's how Philip Greenwald was, until he went and hid. And this was Leticia. It's just Leticia does that on a higher level than everyone else. Oh man, I mean, it's just disgusting, Leticia. Now, I guess we'll get to this. She's yet to put up her next opus she promised. Let's get her volume up. YouTube wants to ask me a question. No. No, they want me to advertise themselves at us. Let's skip the damn ad. Now, we're going to put this back to the beginning.
I'm chilling at this really nice, suburban park, and these little kids came over from the water area that's nearby and came over to the courts where the basketballs are. Well, these little kids are probably about 5, 6, 7 years old at the most, and 3 of them came walking over. The one might have been 4, and the little 4-year-old up in front said something about...
Little 4-year-old. 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 She is upset over what a 4-year-old said. I mean, I have heard a sensitive before, but a 4-year-old? I mean, personally, I can imagine a 4-year-old saying some pretty fanciful or ridiculous shit, because the age of reason is 6 years old. Because any kid under 6 years old can get away with murder because they have yet to reach the age of reason. And then in most states from 6 to 13, it's arguable in court. And then above that, you are supposed to know right from wrong. So, she's trying to attribute adult morals to a 4-year-old.
No, they all did. Said something, who is that? There's a little 2-year-old on the court with his dad. And he's just playing with the balls, itty-bitty, barely 2. And one of the little boys says...
Now, one of these perpetrators is 4. Now, the other perpetrator is 2.
Who is that over there? He said, I don't know. We should smack him. Like these little suburban white kids, pale as hell.
Little kid. Twosies and foursies talking. And they're lucky to know the word smack. They're just repeating something mommy said at some time or another.
On hair and everything. And the one said, we should smack him. And then the other little boy said, we should rip his sack out. What? That's the kind of shit that's going on.
No doubt that's something that mommy says. No doubt at some time mommy has looked over to daddy and was just telling him that. Because she wasn't wanting to use language between the children. So, apparently we got a little bit of a passive-aggressive mommy here. Maybe mommy wears a little too much leather. But, so far, I don't quite see any, quote, evil here against Leticia.
On in these, fancy suburbanite homes. That's how they're teaching their kids how to react and act toward others. Little blonde kids, super privileged, just came over from the water area from this.
Super privileged little blonde kids. Judging by the color of the skin is supposed to be racism, no matter who you're doing it to. By the way,
Segregated little sort of,
hello,
like I said, they live in their
Susan.
own world. They live in their own reality. They get away with what they want because they've got the money to. Oh, yeah.
Now, this 2 and 4-year-old dissed her, and they're getting away with it because mommy and daddy has the money.
I should get them on video, actually.
Now I'm not going to show this. And I'm going to take a moment because, this is the point where I went, like that. Because then she shows the kids on video. And like I said, and then that's when the thoughts of, I think I'm going to go live. That's what I thought. And then, of course, when she was promising to extrapolate on this opus, I said, fuck yeah, I'll get my shit done later. I'll eat late. Yes, I will. And we will talk about Leticia! Oh, man. And this, oh, by the way, this is 1 minute and 26 seconds in. I mean, if, in reality, it's good by one thing. I mean, if I really thought, how could I really piss an audience off in the shortest amount of time? I couldn't have done it. But in 1 minute and 26 seconds, Leticia has done all of this. Titled it for kids, filmed the kids, and once again is begrudging the words of a 2 and a 4-year-old.
The little ones I was talking about. Talking about ripping people's socks out and beating the shit out of people. That's the type of stuff you see. So, I just wanted to capture that on film. I wish I had the audio playing constantly and recording so people understood what their kids do, what types of kids they're raising, because this is the type of shit I overhear. And I just sit here, I'm like,
a 2 and a 4-year-old, and she's expecting them to act like college professors. They're little tiny fucking savages. They're tiny children. That's why God made us much larger than them, so we can overlord them. Because if they could overlord us, we would be in trouble.
God damn, like I didn't say anything, but that's pretty fucked up.
I just said it. Good Catholic girl just took the Lord's, name in vain and stuff, and this kid's programming. On this kid's programming. So now, we got a score of the good Catholic girl taking the Lord's name in vain on her children's programming.
Pretty fucked up. And that's why I wanted to relay it. I just took a nap in my car. It was super sweaty. People walking dogs probably saw me chilling in my car. Probably called the police even. But in my...
She was sleeping in the car, and they probably called the police. Well, you haven't seen the police, have you? Once again, what? Now, see, I wish she was live, because I asked her, it's like, who is worse, the Hitler or the 4-year-old? Because she would say the 4-year-old. She would.
Doing anything wrong? No, haven't done anything. Instead, I've just been chilling, trying to get my mind off of this morning and get my mind off of the fact that my reality sucks way worse than these little overly privileged little white boys. So,
her reality sucks more than these overly privileged little white boys. Well, I'd tell her this, but, once we get into the real world and get a job, we all know that our lives suck more than those minors. I mean, that's like an absolute thing in life. When you're not small and cute, the world gives less of a shit. You notice that, like, there's no funds that say save the neckbeards. I mean, never. I mean, you will never see that. Nope, nope, nope. Now, small and cute, yes, but, when they get large and large beards all over, including the rest of their body, the society just at that point says, you're on your own. And Leticia, once again, is literally in the peer group of a 2 and a 4-year-old.
I just wanted to share that, my day so far. And today is still June 3rd, 2022. Leticia Collins serving. I'm going to get off here so I can make a longer video about this kind of stuff.
And that's where I stopped this. Because she said, I'm going to make a longer video about that. And I went, again, and that's when I said, I thought about going live, but hell fucking yeah, I'm going live. And then I checked and make sure if I had the devices right now charged to go live, and this one was full. And I got another device over here to do chat. This one's about dead, but it's enough to where we can do our audio. And I have not listened to the rest of this. It's not long. But I am going to meditate for just a moment. Rub my temples. Because I don't know what she says next. Oh. But I mean, a little kid, I'll slap you, I'll blob you all your whatever. Have a nice day. Go watch Paw Patrol or some of my dumbass shit. Or find some. It's like, oh, look, Paw Patrol guy, behind that tree, and you get them looking over there. And I mean, they're small children. There is 1,000 ways that you could have messed with their minds. Look, the Easter Bunny. And then you could have told them that if you catch the Easter Bunny, I mean, if I really wanted to, before I would complain about the children, I would troll the children. I would make it into a funny story. I'd make them ask their parents stupid questions. Or make up a holiday they don't know about. That would be a fun one, too, to do to children. Make up a holiday that they're supposed to get something excellent. And, it's like, pick the date like 2 weeks from then. Give it a believable sounding name. And tell them it only starts when you're so old. But, of course, you figure out how old they are. Like I said, I would have trolled the children before I would have ever complained about the children. If somehow I took the child's words in offense, which, whatever.
This is the type of shit that goes down in your homes. This is the type of shit that goes on in those homes. I bet they've got a bunch of, fancy-rich parents that do all kinds of stuff for the community and whatever, and that's the type of crap you're raising. You're not around them constantly, and they're talking about...
Now, once again, apparently she has got inside knowledge into this life of this 2 and this 4-year-old. And once again, as I mentioned, it would just be simple to troll them. Once again, my idea of making up a holiday, that's fun to troll children with. Especially if they had rich, annoying parents.
Ripping people's sacks out at that age. And smacking kids.
Now she's talking about ripping little boys' sacks off. And so she's basically talking about harming a 2 and a 4-year-old. I didn't listen to this part before, but I can't ever see a reason that I would ever harm a 2 or a 4-year-old for any reason whatsoever. Even if they had a gun, it would be taken away from them. Like I said, no, I can't see any reason to ever harm a 2 or a 4-year-old, even if he has a gun. You just take it away from him. But Leticia, on the other hand, if they say little boy words they don't understand, they're to be mutilated. I mean, I'm just kind of letting it sink in a little bit.
And then when the dad, he saw the little boys, he said, "Do you want the basketballs?" And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," changing their tones like the manipulative little monsters that they are. So, yeah, that's...
Okay. See, being a manipulative little monster, that is what the small thing has to do. Because as a small child, there has to be a certain level of narcissism. Now, you see, you're supposed to grow up at some point, and these children will. Now, as you see Leticia, her narcissism is so bad that a 2 and a 4-year-old dissed her, so she talks about mutilating them, violates YouTube's rules because she is so mad at them, she wants to get them on film and wants to show it to the children of the world. Wow. I mean, I'm at 18 plus, so I'm having to try to watch language, but it's just almost unbelievable.
That's what I see here and there. It's kind of funny.
Kind of
Super
funny.
funny because then I don't get away with shit, right? I can't get away with my freedom of speech. How in the hell is that?
She can't get away with freedom of speech. And she says that after what I just laid out. Feels like someone just took a needle and went pink. You know, a piercing needle? Feels like someone just went bang right there in my head.
Lots of possibility. It's fucking disgusting. These people are horrible. Did somebody leave their stroller here? Nobody's using that stroller. I could use one. Jesus Christ. You fancy rich people leaving your big old towel.
Now she's talking about stealing their stroller because they had the 2-year-old there. So they got the 2-year-old out playing, and she's talking about stealing their stroller. Because, after all, she needs one. Getting that another one right here. I mean, now both temples. I mean, wow. I don't even know if Leticia's human. Just saying.
Over there on the ground. Where'd you leave your towel? I don't know. Let's spend another $20 on a new one. You deserve it. Talking about ripping socks out of people's bodies and whatever at that age. You're great kids. Yeah, I love you so much. June 3rd, 2022. Leticia Collins Serving. Bye-bye.
Ends it with a kiss.
Google Fi. A phone plan by Google.
Wow. Wow. Okay, someone else is live. Thought it was her for a second, but yes, that was 3 hours ago. And she said she's going to bring us another opus. So I'm hoping that drops while we're live and we will cover it. But I'll get chat back up in a moment and look back up and answer any inquiries, but I mean, My worst lolcow never would have done that. Well, now she's the worst lolcow, but, when we sit and argue, because, among creators, we have the debate of who's worse, especially in the Boyd. Those are long-term debates. But I have to say, hands down, no lolcow ever would have done this. None. Chris Chan wouldn't have did it. And he was the original lolcow. And there wasn't much he wouldn't do. But I think Chris Chan would let the 2 and the 4, he might screech something back at him in Chris Chanese. But that's as far as it would have went with Chris Chan. He wouldn't have entitled it kids content. And he wouldn't have made big long stories about what the 2 and the 4-year-old said. Now if it was an 8 and a 12-year-old, yeah, he would have. But a 2 and a 4, even Chris Chan wouldn't have went to that level. And going over my other list of evil lolcows, it's just no, 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 no. And usually going down that list, when you think of something bad, you think, yes, 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 yes. But so I do have to say that Leticia goes to lengths that others wouldn't even think of. And early she was compared a lot to Truthfully Tricia by other creators. And it's just, she makes Truthfully Tricia look like a really nice lady. And for those that's been here, they understand what quite a ridiculous phraseology that is. Well, yes, let it go. And now, another thing that we'll start to talk about. Now, you guys are making me laugh because I'm going through seeing hello, Toodles, seeing, if I missed any comments. Ace, I think she was always hateful. Yeah, I do. It's also part of her entitlement. You see, the hatefulness comes with the entitlement. Because you're not enabling her. See, that's why my relationship failed. Because if I wasn't enabling her, she would become hostile. And then I would modify my behavior. And, we kept doing that. And she never stopped doing that bullshit. And, after the third go-around of, honey, we need to do better, that's when I said, we're done. When she left here the last time, I knew it was it. I think we both did. Because once again, she saw I wasn't enabling her. And I drew firm lines. Well, Hagen, at this point, I just know that YouTube's rules just apply to me, and they don't apply to anyone else, and that's how I have to look at it right now. So, Hagen, you forget that only Roger Brown has to abide by guidelines. Apparently everyone else can do whatever the hell they want. And title it kids' content. It's my only logical conclusion. Now, going to her naked fucking opus. Now, if people were here watching my other Leticia lives, we talked about Elvis travels. And I talk like rich life of road trips. And it does seem that Leticia is watching. Now, I know that she will be shooting her opus, and with what Wi-Fi she can get, it'll take a long time to load. Now, see, that's something you don't understand about Leticia's vids. They're so long, they're going to take long times to load, especially when she's doing it off stolen Wi-Fi. Well, Dorian, kind of depends on how well she lies. You know, she says, I'm giving birth in the back of the car. No, she's not. She'll go to the hospital as quick as they can. Because you see, that hospital is going to have a social worker. And that social worker is going to be her ticket if she can get into any programs. And if she didn't already have a reputation of not playing well with others, because that's why she can't get housing now. Because she's such a problem. And that social worker is going to try to place her. And it's all going to come down to the background check. If she passes that background check, that social worker will get her housing and assistance and more goodies. So, well, Dorian, here, we say that, sometimes there's a time to act. Now, the thing about knowing when to act is understanding what levers to push. So, the very important thing is, what hospital is she going to, and who's their social worker? Because that is a person that would be good to be enlightened. Let's put it that way. Like I say, many times you just have to bring the right truthful, not just any information, but the right and truthful information to the right person at the right time. And just between me, you, and the 26 here, that would be a right person and a right time. Because every hospital has a different name for it, but that's basically what it is. Now, I'm sure that whatever hospital it is going to have some real fancy name and maybe even call it an officer. But basically, there's going to be a, quote, social worker there. Well, she keeps moving around. So the thing is going to be is, where's she going to be when she gives birth? She's been driving 500 miles for pot. Oh, man. And buying it in small amounts and having to go back. So, she's probably got about a 50-50 chance of popping in Arkansas. In a 50 or 50 from somewhere else in the United States of America. Oh, Proud Patriot, this morning. Yes, this morning. Now, it's linked on my tab. I think I put it like something like Hot and Hot Springs. Yes, I think I put that on my title that I linked it, but it's down on the community tab just a bit. From this morning, I woke up to it. Hello, Bad Medicine. Yes, she is Bad Medicine. So that's why I was saying, there's kind of a 50-50 chance that she'll have it somewhere between Arkansas and Illinois. And we do know that she went to Memphis. So, it's going to depend on where she's at. So, like I said, it depends on what hospital she go to and the social worker. Now, if she was right where I am, Christian Appalachian Project would be the one putting her up. Because, quote, abused women. See, this is why she keeps doing the abuse thing. Is because to qualify for some of these extra Christian programs, you have to have the A word on it. And there is an entire hotel on the edge of Mount Vernon that's been converted into apartments. And I think it's like a 2-story affair. So, they've got, probably at least 34 units of housing. And these women, they get a check. They get housing. They get basically a free ride. Now, this check is dependent on things like job training. So she would basically have to go for 3 or 4 hours a day for once a week to their little program. And she, as I mentioned, she would get free housing, free everything. She'd get her food stamps, and she would get a check for her program. Because that was supposed to, the check is supposed to be to get you on your feet, to get you out of that place, and then move a new person in. But, we know the people that are like Leticia. She wouldn't want to go and you can walk from where the hotel is to the Christian Appalachian Project's campus. It's about a quarter mile down the road. And it's a big, beautiful place. And they also have GED classes there, too. And they do really good work. But these are the kind of things that she's looking to scam. Oh, yeah, she stated that she will perish before she works. I mean, they have a lot of land. I mean, it's a big, spacious campus. Now, the hotel doesn't have a lot of land, but, it's like 2-story, and, they got top and bottom rooms, and it's done in like an L. So, they got 2 levels of it, and it's, your old 1970s style hotel, and it's all refurbished. It's all like your own private one-room apartments. Which would not be good enough for Leticia. It's still got, because they even got kitchens in them. They were all remodeled. They're all remodeled to be full one-room apartments. Even the good TV included. But you still know that wouldn't be good enough for Leticia. Well, I know that, most places have these kind of things. And that's what she's hoping to get into. But a lot of them, like I mentioned, they have certain rules, certain criteria. Now, one of the reasons why I can't get any help, there used to be the Mounces. And they had 3 kids. They got $600 in food stamps a month. And they'd sell 300 of them for $150 for, a little of their partying money. And then they also, because they're on a, quote, program for a family, they even got jobs that paid well, that were like little bullshit jobs that they hardly had to go to. And they got paid full checks. So they might have to work like 15 hours a week and then get paid for like 35 if it was you or I working. And they also gave them a car. Yes, if you're a family here, you can even get transportation. What are we doing here, kiddies? Somebody's making kitty noises in the kitchen, and I get no lights on. Hello, different Sage. But no, I mean, as I've said before, I've just said before that Kentucky has some really good services for women. If you're a man, you're left to die. Those people that's been here for a while, they know my state. And oh yeah, they gave the Mounces a car. They gave them a shit job that they got about 3 times what it was worth, because the job was supposed to help get them, into some real housing. And they could have got Section 8 housing. It's just they didn't want it because they didn't want to have to obey the rules for Section 8 housing. And they lived in a cabin for 3 years. And every time the kids needed something, Ashley would cry. And they got everyone for it. At one time, with the 3 kids, they got everyone around here at some time or another for something. Me and everyone else. Because of the kids. But that was Ashley and Brian, the Mountses. That was their grift. And Brian Mounts, he wouldn't work either. He was just like Leticia. I want to stay home and take care of the kids. I mean, we won't even get into that. I forgot I'm not an 18 plus. Hello, man, girl, because I really can't go into that anymore and not be 18 plus. But before I got my disability, Ashley, up the road when I didn't have any electricity, the McCoy said, we'll let you store hamburger up here. And he did. And then Ashley started coming over and stealing my food. She was morbidly obese, by the way. Then she was taking it to a friend's house. So, I got to starve for about a month. I had, what I had here. And then I'm like, I'm saving that hamburger up there. And then when I went to get my hamburger, 60% of it was gone. And I got to starve for almost a month. And they went on a big vacation. And these are the kind of people that Leticia are. And if I see Brian Mounts, it's going to be YouTube unfriendly. And he's got, because I said, he never worked, he does not have a muscle on his body. I mean, he stands no chance. And to show you what kind of human scum he is, now, John is a large man. John is like 6'4", 6'5", maybe even 6'6". You know what they typically say of tall, dark, and handsome? That is John. And he's also quite muscular. And as I mentioned that, this other guy is nowhere even near to me. And he kept mouthing off to John. He also kept stealing his accounts because he was trying to use them on dating sites to catfish, to try to cheat on his wife. And that made John angry. Understandably. Hello, hunted coyotes. And then, when confronted with it, I was there when this happened. This isn't no second hand. I saw this. Then he got mouthy to John. And I'm on the porch, and they're about 15 feet away. And I hear what he says to John. I expected, because of what he said to John, that John would punch him in the teeth. And I was correct that John pulled back his fist and was going to lay into him with a good hard one. But like I said, it was incited. Because, before John even pulled his fist back, I'm like, here it comes. I gotta keep it, I'm editing myself, Brian Mounts grabbed his 6-year-old son and pulled him in front of that punch. John stopped his hand before he hit the 6-year-old. Thank God. But yes, that is the amount of human scum that certain of these entitled people could be. He wanted to put John in jail. And as I mentioned, John in reality, if he laid a good shot on me as a man, he could kill you. A really good one, say he caught me right, my head was turned a little bit, and he caught me right here. He's physically impressive enough. I've got impressive neck muscles, but I would contemplate the possibility he could break my neck if my head was turned a little bit and, he caught me with everything, because he's that impressive. I know tough, but, I also know, the physics that work this out, that blow could have accidentally killed me. And yeah, that certainly would have definitely probably left that 6-year-old a vegetable. But you know, but see, when I see these severely entitled people, but this is the only person I ever saw, you know, Brian Mount say, I'll never work. And then Leticia says the same thing. So, you know, once again, I saw him do that, and I think Leticia would do the same thing. He wanted to put John in jail. And I do have to tell him this, but had John hit the kid, well, John would have collapsed. You know, he would have. I mean, he would have mentally, physically, he just would have been out of there at that minute. He probably would have been on his knees crying in tears. I would have jumped Mounts. Yep. You know, for pulling the kid in front of the punch, I would have jumped him. Definitely. I'd have just right on top of him. And it would have been about 45 minutes until the police got there. Yes, it would have, because in a real emergency where you say, blah, people are dying, and they believe it, it's going to be 45 minutes. And it would have been 45 minutes of him one-on-one with me. And Carlos, if you want to go one-on-one, we can too, and I can kick the utter fucking crap out of you. Yes, I can. Or anyone else that wants to mouth off. Well, hello, Dina. Well, I hope it was a good dump and not a bad dump. I mean, like a dump of cheap products, I hope, but I get a feeling it's a different kind of dump you're speaking of. Well, Dina, good luck with your 3-week-old kitten. I was just looking over expecting to get mugged. I mean, Richella's been special today, and I mean, like I say, I'm looking at her here because, you know, she's usually, anymore when I speak her name, she appears. Yeah, but she's been following me around the farm all day, and we had a long outside in the barn earlier, and she kind of destroyed my video, but I went with it anyway, and we went over to the old blue trailer and did some work. I'm digging old furniture out of there and putting it temporarily in the barn because I may get rid of the blue trailer at some point. Because it's really just a storage building anyway. Oh, yeah. Well, Rachel, I mean, I'm basically her possession. I don't have a kitty anywhere here. I don't have an adult kitty anywhere. I guess they're all outside, but this time of the year, I feed them on the deck and I water them on the deck. And they, most of the time, they don't have crystals here anymore, BB. They shut down. White Castles came. And then crystals went away. But when I moved down here, that's all you could get. They only had a White Castle in London. And now they have them in Somerset, and they're not as good as the ones in Cincinnati. Now, Carlos, don't you have any more shock accounts, man? You want a Letitia simp? You know, I hate to tell you this, but, you know, there's kind of like an alliance now of, you know, these people that are going to destroy any Letitia simp that pops up its head. I think, you know, amongst the communities that's covering her, that's been kind of like the general consensus is anyone that goes out just simping it because she's the quote poor little girl is going to find a bunch of whack-a-mole. In the current ones that had tried it, we informed them, and and show them that she's not what she's seen? Well, Dina, that sounds like something fun. Please enjoy your movie, and you're going to have more fun than I am, let me just say, because we're talking about Leticia. Now, if I was doing a vlog, I would be probably having as much fun as you, but let's put it this way, I'm talking about Leticia, so I'm jealous of your laugh. But maybe we can hook Rich Life and Leticia up. Now I'm going to go back over here and see if our favorite friend is uploaded yet. Well, Lisa Linlin has went live. But I'm hoping that while I'm live that Leticia will drop her opus and tell us more of the 2 and the 4-year-old, and we will cover it. Dina, I'm glad you don't know who it is, and I'm never going to tell you. When you come in my chat, I'm going to talk about other things when we're on topic of her. Because you're my friend, and you'd find it all disturbing. I mean, I never knew that the worst human being that I would ever have seen was a female. I mean, I have known some horrible, horrible, horrible men. But I do have to say that Leticia beats them all. I mean, I keep going over because there's just certain horrible things that Leticia has done. I mean, even the horrible men love their babies and their puppies. And none of the severely evil creatures that I know, you know, babies and puppies would get a free pass. Not with Leticia. Nope, 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 not with Leticia. I mean, wow. I many times she just leaves me almost breathless, but now if we were at 18 plus, I'd have plenty to say. But you know, my gaps are kind of me editing myself because once again, we want to go at this more by reason, but this was a 2 and a 4-year-old that she was talking about. And I am just dying. I mean, I am waiting with bait. Oh, shit. She did. Huh. It's odd. It didn't show up on my feed. Falafels and filthy hand water. 26 minutes ago. And we're going to cover it. And we will go through her falafel and filthy hand water video. I still bet there's going to be another bitch in this video. And I bet this is just her eating before the bitching video. Just saying. So, you know, so I'm really going to expect yet another one from her. Now, before I get into this, I noticed something. Since she's going live now, see, I encouraged her to interact with the chat on a sock account. The reason why, I have things I want to learn. Now, if you notice on her lives, you're going to start to see her more like the guy sees her. You know, she's having her act on. And you notice now she's always saying, I love you. Now, one of the first things that a grifting woman does is try to love bomb you. And this is what she's doing. She's trying to love bomb people. You know, that's why she'll say the most horrible things, but then say, I love you. And you're thinking, that doesn't fit with the words that you said right before that. But this is what she does with the guy. I mean, I'm sure she says, I love you 180 times before she falsely accuses them.
Finally, our honeymoon.
It took a while, but at least we got a great time.
We got the long ad.
I was afraid we wouldn't go with our divorce. And great divorce, guys.
Now, I do have to say The ad is the best part of the Leticia video. I mean, it's least triggering. I'm gonna lean up here off camera. Well, shit, I got the tablet on, so I don't know if I can lean off camera and let's do it this way. And Leticia convention. Tell us of my life. Okay, there we go. I feel much better now.
Hundreds of travel sites at once. Kayak. Search one and done.
Second, 2 long ads. I guess YouTube's really wanting the money. You usually have a long one and a short one. This one, 2 long ads that you can't skip.
Today is June 3rd, 2022. Normally for my food videos I don't speak, so I wanted to just relay what I had experienced prior to getting my food. I placed my order and I used my card, so I gave nearly $2 as a tip, and then this happened. I went to go get the water out of the spigot of the steel tub that holds the water. And I asked the man for, because there was no water coming out. And I tried to give him the cup. And I said, "Can you give me some water, please?" And he came over to the tin, stuck his hand directly on the nozzle where the water comes out and into the cup with his filthy hands. Now, he might have washed them, he might not have, but I don't trust people in their filthy hands, bare hand like that, rubbing all over the tin. And then he said, "There's still some in there."
I wonder what he rubbed all over her food. Just saying.
As he tilted the silver tin, and I was like horrified. He made me stick my cup underneath there and get filthy hand water. That is horrible.
Filthy hand water!
And I was shocked, and now I'm filming about it because that's how it goes. And I'm not even hungry, especially now, because now I've got filthy hand water that I've got to sip on. God knows what type of germs.
She has filthy hand water she has to sip on. Because there was a hand on the nozzle. Now, granted, not the most hygienic in the universe, but in reality, I'm sure we all have drank worse and did not know it.
Contaminated all over the hands of this, And so I took pictures of the restroom as well, because the first time I used it yesterday, I had purchased from them prior. It smelled directly of urine. So I took photos of exactly where the urine is compiled in the restaurant so I can relay that. I had a wonderful experience with the food. It was delicious.
Okay, she said, where the urine is compiled in the restaurant. I believe that's supposed to be called the toilet bowl. So, all I can guess is someone didn't flush it. So far, she's made enemy of a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and now apparently a falafel shop owner.
Not gonna lie, they had a jackfruit barbecue sandwich, and I thought, that's delicious, I'll go back for something else. So I got this gyro, which is falafels and whatever, and yes, it's nice and warm right now. I'm traumatized, and people don't understand me. They think that I should...
It's nice, it's warm, and I'm traumatized. Oh. Yeah, I'm just thinking about times in my life. It's like, I was bleeding to death and I wasn't traumatized. Now, it was kind of funny, one of those bad gang nights, but, I'm sewing other people up and I'm holding this hand up and I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. I was bleeding bad. It was cut straight down. And I'm sitting there looking at everyone. It's like, I wonder what the look on everyone's faces is when I fall on my face and pass out. Because I had lost a ridiculous amount of blood and I was keeping it all together. And that once again, I know I was delirious too. I had a head wound, to top it all off. I was probably concussed, besides the wound from the blade. And like I said, that was just the thing that my head kept going to is I wonder what everyone's look's going to be when I pass out because, I'm looking at how much blood I lost and kind of trying to figure out on how much blood there still should be in me. And, my math was coming up short because it looks like about all of it. Now, I didn't pass out and I did live, and there was in that next 12 to 14 hours, there was a lot of deliriousness. I guess because I really didn't have that much blood left bringing oxygen to my brain. But I mean, I wasn't triggered then. Like I said, I was just stuck on what the thought of what their faces are going to be like when I just go, boop.
Just be okay with these things. And I was like, oh, is that now how we got the pandemic now? Like, now you see what I saw prior? That's why I was flipping out, talking to people like that, and telling them not to touch my shit. So, yeah. I am fucking horrified. Normally, and there's a nice seating area outside.
By the way, after that, I sewed myself up. I'm left-handed. Now, the funny thing is there was one time that this got, I don't know if you, I don't think you can see the scar on it. You might be able to if I take the light down. That sucked. Being left-handed and then trying to it only needed 3 stitches. But trying to get left-handed and 3 stitches through that, I mean, that was bad. I mean, bad. I don't recommend the experience.
And that's why hopefully nobody comes near me because I really don't want to talk. That's when, like I said, I don't normally discuss things prior to my food videos. I don't leave the audio on, but I will this time just because that's horrifying. I'm going to try to scarf this down. I don't feel good. My stomach is churning. My stomach is like turning in itself.
For some reason, I think her definition of horrifying and my definition of horrifying are absolutely 2 different things. Just saying.
Turning over because I'm so horrified. Who does that?
Drink when she says horrified.
Like, I literally tipped you to stick your filthy hand in my And I know I'll probably be okay. It's like building immunity and everything. But I am not okay. Like, I am not okay. So just know that with my PTSD and my weird OCD and all this and that. Today is June 3rd, 2022. Leticia calling serving. And I'm going to try to eat right now. Try to. Forgive the angle and everything because I'm just chilling over here. Just trying to understand what just happened. And trying to settle my stomach prior to engaging with the food.
She's trying to settle herself after what happened. That sounds like she just totaled a car, didn't it? I mean, that would be a natural thing for someone to say if they just totaled their vehicle. A natural reaction, but it's because of hand water. I might start making Leticia parodies. Yes. I'm seeing it. I mean, I have a vision. Now, can you picture Star Wars? And can you picture Princess Leia being like Leticia? I mean, well, because see, once again, that would be a humorous point all in itself. Eventually, the humorous part would be the Empire would be the good guys. Well, I'm going to move this because apparently you guys are getting hot. And this light puts off quite a bit of heat. And this is starting to jerk. So that tells me that that light is warming you guys up too much.
Hope everybody's having a wonderful day.
Now, see, this is a part of the love bombing. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Filthy hand water.
Wow. I literally almost snapped in front of other people while I was standing there. I couldn't handle it. I'm not in laughter.
In the, you know how like Luke Skywalker, my Luke Skywalker is going to be Phil the Handwater. You know, The is going to be like his middle name. You know how like certain characters will have like Qui-Gon Jinn. You know, we're going to have Filthy Handwater.
Out of frustration and rage. It's pretty tasty though. And then he didn't pull the tin like he said he was going to. He walked away again.
She's in the park. Of course someone's walked away. He's in the park. I hear a dog. Run, puppy, run.
Jackfruit sandwich was a smaller serving. This has a nice amount on it. I love the food, but I'm horrified.
Now we get to back. I love the food, but I'm horrified. Now, once again, you heard her tone of voice. Now, if you were ever horrified, did you say, I'm horrified? Like Leticia just did, I mean. So once again, we can truthfully say that horrified is nothing more for her than an emotional manipulation point. You're supposed to be empathetic with her fear. I have to shake my head. I mean, really. Well, let's go through her eating, because we're going to skip her, because you know she's just going to keep saying she's horrified in between and say one or two stupid things, so we'll get past her eating part. Yeah, I mean, she can stuff it down. I mean, she's messed the way through this and she's still grubbing. Yep, still grubbing, still grubbing, still grubbing. All right.
4 or 5 yet. Depends on my mood, but it was delicious.
Turn back just a little bit, because I think we missed a horrified. Okay, wiping her hands. Okay.
That was delicious. Normally I still give like 5 stars, even if the interactions were just horrifying.
Horrifying. See, we
I
didn't
don't
want to
know
miss
if
the
I'm gonna give it
horrifying.
4 or 5 yet. Depends on my mood. But it was delicious, absolutely delicious.
And horrifying.
And
Now, see, that would be a fun review. Delicious and horrifying. I mean, if you put that on the ad, I'm there. Well, one, you said it's delicious. And if you said it's delicious and horrifying, I mean, that sounds fucking interesting, doesn't it?
you complain about that, of course. I don't try to complain about everything, but some of this stuff is like horrifying.
Okay. She doesn't complain about everything. And then she says, some things are horrifying. Now, does anyone here believe that she doesn't complain about everything? You know, after the 2 and the 4-year-old.
I got a double chin. Gross.
Yes, you have a double chin.
Again. Everything's like morphing in my body. And
because you're eating 3,500 calories a day.
Anyway, it's June 3rd, 2022. Still, Leticia Collins serving. I'll talk to you guys later. That was super weird. I just don't understand it. Hopefully, everybody's having a good day. I love you. Bye-bye. I'm still trying to make myself feel better, but I don't. Because I hate everyone. I hate everything. And I hate everything. But I love stuff, too. So I'm trying to appreciate what I have. Trying to appreciate what I've got so far. And I don't appreciate fucking hand water. That's disgusting. So I don't understand it. So, yeah. I love you, everybody. Fuck. Delicious. My stomach is still upset though. Like, this is not okay. I love you. Have a great day. Leticia Collins serving. Bye.
So, I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. I love you. That was her goodbye. And she wonders why she's alone. I mean, at this point, I'm seriously thinking about apologizing to Truthfully Tricia. I'll get Chad back here in a minute. I'm just, I had to basically memorize the balance of love and hate for a moment so I could relay it properly. And I mean, I can't, it's hard to just decipher her insanity. But obviously she does not need to be with us. Obviously. Well, that's the thing is, now this is where Roger's could come in. Now, if Grimgolf was here, he would say, well, Leticia always talks about karma. She stink-fingered the lady, and now she got hand water. So, no doubt, you know where his finger had been. Yeah, I think I might make that into a Grimgoth bit. Yeah, I think I do. Because, of course, the conclusion line is, that he had his finger in his butt, too. Ew. So, yes, because, see, that was my original plan. You see, for Grimgoth, I really hadn't let my beard grow out to do the character really proper. And I have now. And this is what I was going to do. It's why I didn't wash my hair, because I want Grimgoth to have more of a flyaway look. That I intentionally do that, and, so he has more wild hair when I let it down and, get all ready for filming. And I'll probably shoot a few Grimgoth bits tonight. And that's one thing that I'm going to do in the next 2 days, is I'm going to shoot a dozen Grimgoth bits, for the other channel. And that's kind of what I'm going to do in the next 36 hours, besides any other content you see. Now, she claims that she lost 2. Now, one was supposedly an abortion, and she didn't say about the other, but I think it's supposedly a miscarriage. So, they were never born, but you may hear her refer to other children, but she does only have the one. I got reflexes. Reflexes. Kitten cat, I'm blowing nose over here on my towel. F you. Because I don't suck snot like Rich Life does. No, I don't. I just wash things. No. I'm sure that Rich Life's mom still washes his clothes. Well, Blake's, there's a lot of possibilities. Possibility 1, she was pregnant before she hooked up with the guys, because she was whoring before that. And if she missed a period, she wanted to make sure she had a military man. We got Taylor Autumn in here. Taylor Autumn, Taylor Autumn. Come here. Squeaks at me. I had to sing her a song. You know how animals are a certain way? Taylor has her own song, and she's not interested. I know, here's the Summer Sue. Summer, you coming to see the people? We're on YouTube. Summer got 5 seconds on YouTube, and I'm going to go back to the presentation and meow with it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She's not interested. She's not interested in my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but we just had Kitty show up. Oh, she's severely mentally ill. Well, Callie, she might. She might. Now, Leticia's channel will get nailed at some point, likely, because she will do something wrong. Now, she's likely to go to jail first. Just saying. Now, the outstanding thing, she's not been paying her car payment. So that means her car's going to get repoed at some point. That's one reason why she's not getting far from it. And that's one reason why, there's Taylor Autumn, and that's one reason why she's staying so mobile and going to other states. And that's also one reason why she's trying to deflect on where she is. Because she's worried about the repo man. It's okay, honey. You can do like your mommy. I can do like your mommy. See, be like your mommy. Okay, you go, ooh, it's okay, honey. You was just doing your mommy. You go, ooh. You didn't want to be displayed? You don't have to be. You don't have to be YouTube kitty. You can just be lap kitty, just like there. Here you go. I had to reassure her. Jennifer Sissy is on the decking. Now, she's been a bit incontinent, but other than that, she's a bit well. I love you. You want to sit over there? We can. Okay. Now, you guys are on a chair, and Taylor Autumn has decided that she's going to be behind you. So, if everything goes black, that's because she's kicked you over. And I'll be back in just a moment once she does kick you over. Hagen, I don't know. And a lot of it, I think, would depend on the value of the car and the policy of where she got it. Well, these kitties have their own idea, and my mother taught the cat that I had as a teenager to kiss. And the cat was kind of dangerous, so it was kind of good to make it friendly. And in actuality, when we moved down here, that cat was very old. My mother got a cat, another one, and it learned to kiss. And then when I had different animals once upon a time, and the boys were going to get fixed. And the girls were getting fixed too. But I had to separate them for a while, and the boys went down to my mother's house. And they learned kisses from that new cat that mother got, that learned it from the cat that I grew up with. So they kissed each other. And then Laylee, when she got fixed, went to my mother's because the boys would want to roughhouse with her. So she learned how to kiss. And then it got passed on. And like when my older cats, their father was alive, Panther taught him to kiss. He was one of the cats that I had at the time. Panther, Tiger, and Aries, because I had 5. And the other 2 were Athena and Laylee, because I would prefer to only have 5, in reality. But, sometimes it's the only way you can get them tame. It's not like we're actually trading spit, but there is an occasional time that Fulgrim, it's just, if you didn't close your mouth, he would have just stuck his head in if he could. Hello, Robin. Because YouTube is just bots now. And I also, earlier in this live, I said, terms of service only applies to me. Because I was openly contemplating on how Leticia gets away with it. And as I understand it right now, I am the only person in the universe that has to obey terms of service. And everybody else just kind of gets to do what they want. That's the only thing that I can think. Well, the thing is, it's going to be worse for when the normies get a hold of it. The somebody do something crowd. When she finds her ilk, they're going to be all over it. And we will get some new friends that will get into the wonderful world of the lolcows. And now that we've listened to her video, we'll talk about her pooping in a bag. Now, that's a favorite for me. Now, we did, on my last Leticia video, or not video, but live, we talked about Elvis Travels and Rich Life. And evidently she was watching and found out that she too could poop in a Walmart bag. And I imitate Rich Life. And all of a sudden today she fell into her southern accent, so I've seen enough to where I can say that Leticia watches us here. She probably doesn't watch us live, but the replays of this, yes, she watches. But yes, at this point, flagging her video does nothing. And before COVID, she would be down. Her channel, before COVID, her channel, I can say 100% would have been down. Well, the thing is, Robin, here, I've got 3 bedrooms in this trailer, 2 bedrooms and a nothing, and a loft apartment set up in the barn. I'm one guy and I got 6 places to sleep. In reality, someone like Leticia on disability, if they were a sane human being, like I say, I need transportation and I have an excess of bedrooms. I wouldn't get in the same state with her. As I've joked, I would let Truthfully Tricia peg me before I even stepped in the same state as Leticia. And like I say, and she wants some kind person to help her. And like I say, I got bedrooms coming out my ass. There's a bedroom right on the other side of this wall. That's the one that, I sleep in during the winter, and that's got the library in it. And this is the game room. And I've moved the game stuff out to the barn. And I basically made this into a media room. You know, I've got like charging stations on either side of me from where I just sitting right here. And in reality, you know, this is going to become a media room. And then the master bedroom is on the other side of the other wall with the master bath. You know, she makes about the same amount I do. Doesn't it, Taylor Autumn? She's a sweetie. Yes, she is. She's a sweetie. Never could find her a home, but she was a sweetie. Her whole litter was good kitties. Well, Callie, she's going to be with us a long time. You know, the drama community is going to be her home. Now, the thing with her, the only thing right now that could get her annihilated is the kid shit. You remember how we just showed early in this live what she was doing and saying with the children, putting it as kids content and basically attacking kids? You know, kids are going to see this. If some mommies contact YouTube, you know, like, you know how they got KidsTube? If this shows up over on KidsTube, and the kid people that pay for KidsTube go back and complain, I think she could get dinged. But it would take that. It would take subscribers, in my opinion, on KidsTube to flag that video on KidsTube. But I do not have that magic power. Well, old Ernie Shell, we'll be getting around to that bastard at some point, too. As I said earlier in the live, and on Holly's comments, I mean, I can only throw one ball at a time. But in reality, I could do like a lot, if, you know, for some reason, if I wanted to, I could do a live on somebody different today for about 5 different lives. But man, but you know, Leticia's the big dragon right now, and so we'll talk about her, and I'll get to the others later, and I'll do some more Grimgoth bits later tonight. Because that's really what I was, you know, right before I started this, like with my hair and everything, that's what I was set up to do. Usually I've got my hair like this. There's my little kitty. And I got my little kitty. And right now I need a comfort animal because we're talking about Leticia, aren't we, honey? We're talking about Leticia. And I need comfort kitty. But she's just sitting here hunting mice. But she's got them all. But she still sits here anyway. So yeah, I mean, oh, I forgot on this one. Okay, well, we've been at an hour and a half, so, you know. I'll get off here in a little bit because I want to run these shorter for replay value. Now, the thing is Ernie Shell isn't that far from me in reality. You know, like all these YouTubers like to get mouthy. Yes, you know, Ernie Shell and I are not that far apart. And also looking at his criminal record, I'm bigger than he is too. I noticed that he kind of photoshops his arms and shit too. And as you can see, mine are right here, and they're just as muscular, if not more, than his. And I'm not doing like this to try to make them look bigger, like he was in his pictures. So, you know, that will be interesting when I get to criticism of him, because he's one of these people that likes to get mouthy. And I have a policy of anybody that wants to come here and become physical, I'll be more than happy to, because I enjoy fighting. One of the dirty secrets of my life. I like combat. But I'm not completely well. Isn't that right, kitty? Well, Callie, I mean, fine. I mean, if something is my fault, I am happy to take the blame because, and yes, Callie, It is all my fault that you are entertained. And everything else that goes with it. I love you, little kitty. You're falling. My kitty. I'm holding her all. I wish you guys could see this, but I can't reach it because she's like falling off. She's holding on one side, and I'm holding her butt up. Come here, stupid kitty. Here, let's get. That's it. They trust me so much. I mean, she's like, pump, and I had to catch her. Summer's daughter is not the smartest creature in the world, but she is kind, she's lovable, she's friendly, and oh my God, she is an amazing mouse catcher. But not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So with that, I'm going to get out of here because in reality, I think me ending this live with a laugh is about the best thing that I can do. So I'm going to get off here and I'm going to shoot some Grimgoth comedy for the Grimgoth Dark Elf channel, and I hope to make everyone laugh because Leticia turns all of our stomachs. Now, thank you for coming, and this will be posted, but I've got to switch the mode on it, and YouTube seems to be taking some time to get it back up. So, if you want to see any more of it, this will be back up as soon as YouTube cycles it up. Now, everyone, have a really good night. Notice I got sun, too. Too much.